Ladies and gentlemen, this is Greg M. Your Sports on the Go. Just decided I'll bring a little sprint training tip for you 100-meter sprinters getting ready for the next meet coming up. Youngsters especially, even though we have some youngsters running 9.93 in 100 meters. I mean, these young guys are way faster than I was back in my high school days. Collegiate days, I was only able to drop down to a 10.16. But in all my years of preparing, I wish I had these tips driven into my head. The coaches did their best, but they were still learning. And years later, I'm learning all these things that I should pay attention to and be part of my regimen. So preparing for the 100-meter sprint involves a combination of proper warm-up, technique drills, strength training, and mental preparation that was missing from mine. We tried some technique drills, but I don't think everything was incorporated. Dry phase and all that kind of stuff wasn't involved in my training. Strength training, we're kind of on our own. We didn't have guidance and somebody monitoring us, making sure we're working the proper muscle groups and right amount of repetition, rest in between. So here are some tips that I want y'all to pay attention to for sprinting. The warm-up routine. Begin with 5 minutes of light cardio to increase your blood flow to your muscles. And then follow with dynamic stretching and mobility drills to prepare your muscles for explosive movement. Meaning, don't do those elastic type stretching where you're bouncing and wearing out the muscle, stretching it to an abnormal level of stretching to where you can overstretch and tear the muscle. You should work with your coach. Your coach should know that. You should know that. And be prepared and in dynamic stretching and know how to do it. So, perform technique drills to improve your acceleration and maximum velocity sprinting. Which is part of your coming out the blocks, dry phase, your sprint phases over the 100-meter, working in the different phases of it from 40, 50, 60, that type of thing, and proper mechanics. Right? Because you can't run faster than the mechanics will allow you to run. If you're all over the place and wasting energy, equals slow times. You might be able to get some fast times, but you could be faster if you're smoother and relaxed. Conclude the warm-up with at least 3 to 4 acceleration, increasing intensity with each run over distances of 20, 30, 40, 50 meters. Now, technique focus. Practice the perfect start by setting up your blocks correctly and focusing on the first few steps, which is your dry phase, coming out head down in the first 6 to 10 steps. Work on a dry phase by staying low, maintaining hip height, and using your arms and knees effectively. Transition smoothly to the max velocity phase, staying relaxed and tall, and work through the line with a dip. So always never ease up before the line. All this, dramatics and looking around before you get to the finish line and easing off. Unless you're way out, then I can see you maybe easing off, but don't develop bad habits. Run through the line. At least have some self-awareness to know when to relax. Strength and power, very important. I didn't have proper strength training. We didn't have a strength coach when I was growing up. The coach can leave you in the weight room and we just do whatever, some bench press, some squats. We don't know if we're doing the right amount of repetition, proper rest in between, how to gradually, increase the weights to develop strength and so forth. So incorporate the strength training sessions focusing on explosive and reactive strength, which is what you need for the 100 meters and 200 meters and 400 meters. Include plyometrics exercise such as box jump and bounding to enhance explosiveness. Now, speed and speed endurance, you definitely still need this for the 200 meter, even for the 100 meter, to be honest with you. You got to be strong and be able to maintain that speed once you hit that top end speed at 60 meters. Focus on interval training with sprints at high intensity followed by full recovery. Improve speed endurance by gradually increasing the distance of your intense sprint workouts. All right, so you definitely need to do speed specific work to your event, 100, 200 meters. 200 meters, you're working on curve, you're still working on dry phase coming out, staying close to the curve, coming off the curve with nice momentum, arm drive, knee drive, turnover, your stride frequency, all those things, and being able to relax. Then the other part now is the mental preparation, right? A lot that this I didn't have, we deal with anxiety and we don't know how to control that. We psych ourselves out before the race. So set a realistic goal for the time you want to achieve. Visualize the race and technique to build confidence and focus. So remember, consistency in training and attention to detail in your technique will be key to improving your performance in 100 meter sprint. So good luck, and make sure you work with your coach on all these tips to make sure you're on track and training properly for your 100 meters, all right? And ready for your event weekends after weekends coming up, especially if you're competing weekend a lot leading up to major championships. But I have more tips to follow to help you guys out. Like I said, I'm Greg M Sports on the Go, trying to help you all out. I was a two-time Olympian for Jamaica. I was a relay sprint specialist. I ran the second leg, 1984 for Jamaica, which got us silver. NCAA All-American Awards, Lone Star Conference champion when I was at Division II at Abilene Christian University. And so, I feel like I can add some tips where I went wrong, try to add it to you guys who need to know this. Some of you already know it. Some of it just need to be reiterated to remind yourself to focus on these things. But anyway, with that said, I'll see you next time with some more updates or tips as things move along. All right, so take care until next time.